Hades, being a mortar type weapon, same thing as the mortar itself, and something like the lumberjack, they all benefit greatly from different types of ammo. You can use lesmok for that long range, making it straighter, and use something like grease to pump out shots as quick as you can when you're up close.
We're getting into this first game here. Again, Battle on the Dunes is the first matchup. Thank you everyone for joining us on twitch.tv/CE Sports. We're getting into it right now. The first of 5 kills is the one to win. Imagine, tell us about Duel at Dawn.
Well, as I said, it's a small map, a lot of cloud cover that flows through. It is one of the two maps, or I guess three maps, that has actual wind as well. So you'll see a lot of people bumping into terrain that they don't really want to bump into because there's sure a lot of it. And as we all know, terrain is quite often the MVP in these matches.
All right, our ship lineups for today. First up is the Kamikaze Punk. We have on the front an Artemis Hades, and on the side that is a flare gun and another Artemis. Our second ship in the lineup, first one, by the way, piloted by Commander Tropo. The second one, Jesus Take the Wheel, piloted by Master YOLO Swag Jesus. We have on the very front a Hades Banshee, and on the side an Artemis flare gun. Imagine, go ahead and take the next two ships.
All right, on the VSS Angels Food, captained by Xander Broda, we've got those double Artemis on the bottom deck, the double mine launchers on the wings, and up top we've got Hades on the starboard Angel, captained by, let's see, that's Pieman Lives. Sorry, there were two people overlapping there for a second. We've got Carronade Banshee on both sides of the junker with that Artemis up front.
Getting into action right now, ladies and gentlemen, seeing exactly how positioning is going. It looks like the VSS Angel Food and the Starboard Angel are taking a position very low between the battleship and these ribs right here on the very far west side of the map. On the southern side, the Kamikaze Punk and Jesus Take the Wheel are hugging the very bottom. They're hugging the edge, going around the wreck.
Yep, Angel's Food does get a spot taken down on it. You see this a lot from red teams, actually, to try to catch blue camping in their own spawn. But in this case, the Cake team did move out a little bit, and that's going to give them, well, a little bit of reprieve from getting ambushed from the backside.
This is going to be difficult, but I believe if Angel Food can swing themselves around behind where the Jesus Take the Wheel is coming in, or rather in front of, they can get some mines down before Jesus Take the Wheel hits Cloud Break and actually get some mine drops on them before any damage is taken by the Cake team. But I speak too quickly. Starboard Angel has been spotted.
Yep, Starboard Angel gonna get some of those shots off from the Kamikaze Punk. Few of those Hades are connecting. That's actually a fairly good volley there. Too often you see ships missing those Hades, but every single one of those is hitting. That's not gonna do too well for the Starboard Angel.
We see a lot of chem spray right now in the Starboard Angel. Great choice. It's minimizing a lot of the damage that those Hades are trying to do right now. Starboard Angel coming in for a possible broadside. We did not see any, though. All right, there's the carronades on the Kamikaze Punk. Angel Food has lost their outer hull, though. They are taking a lot of damage very quickly.
Taking an incredible amount of damage there. Got to be extremely careful, and that's just from one ship managing to rebuild just in time before they do get smacked down. But oh no, I don't think they're going to be left long for this world, and there they go.
Jesus Take the Wheel with that Banshee and Hades. They laid down an immense, impressive amount of firepower against that Mobula. First kill is for Sacrilege.
And now Starboard Angel is getting hit by both of these Sacrilege ships. That Hades going to work, that Artemis doing a massive amount of damage, and the Banshee following it all up for a quick 2-0 lead.
The chem spray was doing a good job. It was not enough to prevent the immense amounts of damage that wasn't burning and wasn't fire.
Very much so. Chem spray is a very great tool to have, so it can be a little bit tough to use at times, especially if something's already on fire. But as you said, just too much damage coming out from a combined firepower of these two Pyramidions, and well, Cake's gonna have to regroup and reassess how they went about that.
I was really liking what what they were able to do with that Banshee Hades combination against the Mobula. Quickly started taking them out of that fight, and as soon as they had the opportunity, completely obliterated them. You don't normally see that much amount of hull break from a Hades Banshee combination. How did they pull that off?
Well, Hades is actually very good at hull breaking. Also, you have to realize that the Mobula is a little bit of a squishier ship. Definitely, if you were looking at it, I believe it was the Kamikaze Punk was going at the starboard Angel, and wasn't having such a great time trying to break that hull. Mobulas are gonna go down quicker. They have more of a surface area to also cover for the hull, other than the not unlike a junker, which has a tiny hull to hit. And it looks like we're gonna get into our next engagement almost right away here.
Decent Hades shots coming in from the Kamikaze Punk. I'm liking this accuracy so far with the Hades. It's not the easiest weapon to use, but lately we've seen some very good gunners and gungeoneers coming out with the ability to just pinpoint that thing.
Yeah, and it's especially it's actually great that they can hit a junker's hull from as far away as they were firing, although they did close that distance incredibly quick.
Kamikaze Punk is taking a lot of damage in this charge against the Angel Food. Their outer hull has gone down, but via this Angel Food is losing a lot of hull points very quickly. They get ripped to shreds. That Banshee, Artemis, and double Hades just is too much when combined with each other against a weaker hulled ship like the Mobula.
Absolutely, and especially when it's a 2v1 here. Last time it was a 1v1 combination, but this time both of those Pyramidions turned their guns right onto that Mobula and just zerged it down as fast as they can. Now, Angel's Food spawns directly next to these two Pyramidions, so let's see if they're actually able to turn the focus once more.
We need to see the Angel Food use those mines. They brought double mine launcher into this fight. They need to use that. We haven't seen a single mine hit yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a couple that got tossed down, which did
Starboard
absolutely
Angel
nothing.
is taking a lot of damage. They get ripped to shreds. Focused fire from Jesus Take the Wheel and Kamikaze Punk. Way too much to deal with for those engineers. I don't think they were ready for that barrage. Kamikaze Punk, though, taking some fire, some very serious fire from that center Hades on the Angel Food.
Yeah, Angel's Food doing a great job here, but it might just be a little bit too, well, not enough firepower coming out from a single ship. Still connecting quite well, though, and might actually take the Kamikaze Punk out here as Jesus Take the Wheel went in for a ram, which actually threw in their own gun arcs off.
I'm not sure that was the greatest idea in the world. Oh, there is one of those mines. Angel Food sinking below it, trying to get mines all around the Kamikaze Punk. Good strategy, but poor arcs on the individuals using those mine launchers.
Yeah, I almost feel like that was just emergency. Just get on those mines and throw down a couple just to distract them a little bit. But now the Angel's Food backside is turned to one of these Pyramidions, and that's not going to do very well at all.
Angel Food is lucky they haven't lost any engines yet, but they do have two engine fires, rather, and their hull is burning down pretty quickly. Kamikaze Punk may be sitting low on hull points. Starboard Angel taking a lot of shots on it right now, doing its best to distract the Kamikaze Punk.
And those Banshee shots coming on in, doing quite a work, along with that carronade onto the Kamikaze Punk, puncturing the balloon. Kamikaze Punk is going to start going down here, but they have a long way to fall.
And actually, this is going to work in the Kamikaze Punk's favor. They're going to be in gun arc here for at least a few moments. They're going to be able to get some good pot shots up on the Angel Food. Didn't do much, though.
Does survive it. Yep, does survive it. But Jesus Takes the Wheel, still turn on him. Actually, looks like they're turning onto the Starboard Angel now.
I'm not sure that's a good idea. They have one kill left before they win this. Angel Food is nearly destroyed. Of course, they can't see that. We can, but still, they were hammering on the Angel Food for so long. I think they should just continue focusing on that.
Yeah, possibly, although, yep, there we go. Jesus Takes the Wheel, does turn back on it. In the meantime, Kamikaze Punk does go down. I believe the balloon was punctured one more time by the Starboard Angel there, so at least Cake is not going to be shut out here.
I agree. A gentle ground tap finishes off the Kamikaze Punk. First point for the Cake team. Angel's Food still in trouble, though, getting a lot of pressure from Jesus Take the Wheel. Jesus Take the Wheel being very aggressive right now.
Yep, but once again, just goes right under the Angel's Food. I don't know if that was an attempted ram or they just wanted to meet up with their own teammate once more. But Angel's Food did manage to do a little bit of an Olay, fly right over Jesus Takes the Wheel, and once again that threw Jesus Takes the Wheel's gun arcs out.
Xander Broda, the captain right now of the Angels Food, very experienced, well-known captain. He does know what he's doing. It's safe to assume that was an expert dodge on his part. Starboard Angel and Angel Food both taking shots right now. Angel's Food actually having some engine fire issues there. Engineers taking care of that quickly, though.
Yeah, Starboard Angel actually still has one of its engines on fire as well. Had a couple of minutes ago, but now down to just one.
I haven't seen any... Have you seen any chem sprays on the cake side of things yet? I have not.
I believe I saw a couple on the Starboard Angel. Yeah, there. I mean, it's on
There,
right now.
okay.
I've seen a few glows here and there, but definitely not as much as I would have liked to see before. There's a lot of fire coming down from the Sacrilege team as well. You know, cake is basically tasting a little bit of their own medicine currently.
With those Hades on those ships, you have a Hades on the Jesus Take the Wheel, a Hades on the Kamikaze Punk. You have a Banshee on one of those Pyramidians as well facing forward. That's
well
a lot of fire being laid down.
Yeah, as well
yes,
as
absolutely.
well as and if you think about it, even the flares, if you can connect with the flare, geez, I think it puts up 10 stacks almost immediately, maybe more. I don't know if that's been changed recently. All right, Jesus Takes the Wheel. Actually, whoa, Jesus Takes the Wheel came way out here.
Oh
no,
my
there's
goodness.
a mine. There's the first mine.
Day. There we go.
Yep, threw its gun arcs off all over the place. Jesus Takes the Wheel is going to be in a little bit of trouble here.
Angel Food is taking a little bit of fire. Angel Food is having massive fire issues right now. Their engineers probably struggling to put those out. They're going to be knocked out of this fight. They're being focused down. There they go.
Yep, there's the final kill. Forcing down Angel's Food, just a little bit too low hull health left to continue that mining operation.
First game goes to Sacrilege 5-1. The next map is going to be Canyon Ambush.
Do they have a lumberjack?
They have a lumberjack on that
on
that galleon.
I thought it was all
the other galleon is all melee.
Okay, I see.
The War Maiden has a heavy flak and a lumberjack. We're actually going to go through the loads right now. First up, the Disney films. It's the Flakfish. We'll see how this goes. It has the heavy flak out front, the double barrel mortar, double barrel mortar, I'm sorry, on the left side. On the right side, it has an Artemis. And then the second ship, the Jesus Take the Wheel, double Hades front. Double Hades front. I'm excited to see how this works. Along with an Artemis on the side and a flare gun. Imagine, go ahead and take the next two ships.
Yep, we've got the VSS Devil's Food, piloted by Xander Broda. We've got a Hwacha and heavy carronade on both sides with a Gatling and a flare gun up back. And on the War Maiden's Rest, piloted by Panman Lives, already taken some shots. We've also got looks like we've got that long side with heavy flak and lumberjack, and the other side with that short Hwacha heavy carronade, and they have already absolutely massacred.
Jesus Take the Wheel got caught between a nasty couple Hwacha shots and carronade shots from the Devil's Food and that heavy flak from the War Maiden's Rest. Yeah, absolutely obliterated in its seconds.
Yeah, that looks like it was
stupefying.
That was a great setup there by Cake. The two galleons were on two different sides, and you generally don't see that. You generally see both blue ships kind of hugging the wall here on the side of this canyon. So being split apart like that, not something you see quite often. Probably caught Sacrilege completely unaware.
Xander Broda, along with Puppy Fur, I believe, are some of the best galleon pilots we have in this game right now. He knows how to pilot his galleon, and should Pieman Lives have any confusion about how to handle his own galleon, I can only imagine Xander is helping him out in any way, shape, or form. This is a force to be feared right now.
Yeah, and you don't actually see galleons that much right now in competitive play. You'll see it sometimes in something like Northern Fjords, where you can set up extremely long sniping with those lumberjacks, but generally one galleon is maybe all you'll see. A double galleon, I don't think I've seen that in quite a long time.
It looks like Sacrilege has actually set up a bit of a trap right now. Jesus Take the Wheel trying to draw them out behind this while...
they've done a fantastic job. Can those flak shots come in and connect with the Devil's Food? One does. Oh, Devil's Food taking huge shots there.
He's backing up. He's going to actually hit the War Maiden. Oh, no!
Oh, and it goes down.
Ship.
Oh, this is an absolutely tragic approach here by Cake. First, the War Maiden actually ran into a rock, and oh my god, this is exactly what Sacrilege envisioned when they took this loadout.
Yep.
Using that
Yep.
double Hades to strip that armor and finishing it off with the Disney films. So, very, very quick comeback there for Sacrilege.
I am continuously impressed by what the Hades is capable of doing as a gun. It's hard to use. I know it's hard to use, but it is so powerful, not just in stripping the outer hull, but in taking down components, in setting fires, in causing chaos, in making your engineers' heads explode.
Very much so. It's extremely hard to. I've had to deal with it in competitive matches quite often, and just running from one component to another. Trying to decide whether or not you want to put that fire out or repair something. But now, okay, now something else is on fire now as well, and it's just continual bad stuff going on. Of course, their Cake got caught up, kind of tripped over themselves with the Devil's Food backing up into the War Maiden after the War Maiden had taken a bit of a bounce on a rock. So, sort of an unfortunate position there for Cake to begin with.
The Devil's Food, or some ship launched a flare off to the far right here when facing the direction of the Cake ships. I don't believe that was a Cake ship that flared, was it?
Um, it's hard to tell. It may have been the Disney films actually, but no, no, Disney films doesn't have one, and Jesus Takes the Wheel was far off, so no, it had to be a Cake ship. Jesus Takes the Wheel was the only other ship that has a flare on it, and they were peeking around the corner, so they wouldn't have been able to uh, hit that particular set of clouds. So I'm pretty sure that was the Devil's Food, just making sure that Sacrilege isn't coming around on the side over there. And it looks like Devil's Food is just actually continuing to flare it all up here, making sure that they are having all their bounds covered, uh, not getting ambushed by Sacrilege here.
Tough situation right now for Cake. After that unfortunately devastating team kill they experienced, they have to be having a little bit of lack of confidence right now. They let themselves get trapped in a canyon where they were simply killed off one by one. They need to regain their confidence. They need to focus on making sure they disable one of those ships right away. Preferably Jesus Take the Wheel because of the amount of hull stripping that ship has available. But either way, as long as they knock out one of those ships, they aren't going to have any major threats. But as soon as both those ships line up for Sacrilege, hull goes down, permahull goes down. It's a very quick process, as we just saw a few minutes ago.
Yep. Maybe you'll have one volley of Hwacha go off at the Disney films trying to take out that front gun, but really you want most of the fire going into the Jesus Takes the Wheel. If that armor is still up, that Flakfish is going to be, well, fairly useless in what it can do. It does have an Artemis on its side, but turning the side of a goldfish is not really something you want to do very often. So it will be very much a matter of disabling the Jesus Takes the Wheel as quick as you can. And with those watches that the Cakes are packing, if you get some nice solid hits on the front, you can do that quite well. But it looks like they are going to move into the clouds on the right side over here.
Both teams keeping a very big distance between each other, not really knowing exactly what each other is doing. Although I think Sacrilege has a slight jump on the Cake team. As soon as the Cake team moves, they're going to lose that.
Yeah, and it's actually funny because now that Sacrilege has come around the bend over here, they basically just missed seeing Cake go into those clouds on the side. And this is something that you actually end up seeing quite a lot on this map. The two teams more or less circling each other. Oftentimes you'll end up in each other's spawns, trying to find where the opposing team has gone. And it's quite funny when blue is in red spawn and red is in blue spawn, and neither knows where the other is.
Oops, gentle bump by the Devil's Food. It looks like War Maiden and Devil's Food are holding up here on the far west, or east
Sacrilege
rather, side of
should see
canyons.
them. They should actually see each other. I don't know if they can get spots down, but I believe they should have line of sight on each other.
Focusing my camera on the Devil's Food. Nope, there is no spot. There is no sight.
There's no sight, but it's hard to tell. I think the top of that galleon was above the rock for long enough and above the cloud for long enough for one of these ships to see it. Uh, and considering they're going in that direction, quite it's sort of hard to tell without being in a being on one of these ships. But I have a feeling they do know that the two galleons were heading in that general direction. Now, where the galleons would end up going was an entirely different question because from there they can really go
Oh
anywhere they
god,
want.
Devil's Food just bumped against a rock and lost half their balloon, slowing them down immensely too. They lost all their momentum there.
Yeah, and
Galleons,
we've had that galleon. Yeah, galleons do that. Have done that several times so far this game.
unfortunately, a galleon's speed doesn't rely on the actual acceleration. Their acceleration is terrible. They're very large, slow ships. But when you get a galleon going, its momentum, its inertia is actually quite heavy. It's immense. It starts going and it just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen it, but there have been some matches with some brutal galleon rams lately.
Puppy Fur is actually my favorite person to watch doing that. Him and Redria, when they're together and they're both ramming, Redria in his Rainbow Crash and Puppy Fur in his galleon. It's artwork.
Yeah, and I know that Zill himself has had a fondness for running into
Spots are out on
Marbulus.
both of the Sacrilege ships. War Maiden's Rest and Devil's Food are both taking pot shots at this point.
Yep.
War Maiden's Rest actually has the wrong ship, wrong side rather, facing the Disney films
Well, that
coming in.
watch actually may have been fine, but they did not have heavy clip loaded, so that those shots just went wildly off into nowhere.
The War Maiden's Rest definitely was not planning on that kind of engagement. They were
Oh,
caught by
absolutely not.
surprise.
Yep, very much so. But they did get a spot down on Sacrilege, which is very important. They do know where they are now. They know that they're not going to be coming up from the other side, and so we'll probably see them taking a little bit of cover between the rocks here, and then just trying to shoot the Sacrilege ships out of the sky when they poke their noses out. Has War Maiden's Rest still not turned around? It's still got its short side pointed at him.
I
I'm not.
understand that they need to move forward, but I don't like this choice.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if they want to continue on this path. This would more or less be
It looks
playing
like
straight into
it looks
Sacrilege's
like they're
hand.
going to spin around. We just saw the Devil's Food spin around to face its other side towards where Sacrilege is. I hope War Main's Rest does the same thing. I want to see Lumberjack and that heavy flak brought to bear against an incoming Sacrilege team.
It's actually a little bit puzzling to me of why the Devil's Food would want to turn around there. It has both sides with the exact same guns, with the downside of the Gatling not facing out that way now. But it looks like they actually might just head back the way that they originally came.
Yeah, I think that was the original plan all along. War Main was just taking his time to flip around and get reoriented. Larger plan in
Yep.
place. We guessed wrong on that one.
Yeah, there you go. So now thankfully for them, Sacrilege isn't just waiting out over here. Sacrilege looks like they're trying to take the long route to get to the back of their spawn, and they're going to be very surprised when the cake ships are no longer there. Although they're, oh my, Sacrilege ships are actually fairly split apart currently.
I just noticed that. Is that safe?
It's really not, especially on a map like this. I will say that it could be a little bit safe just because there's so many rocks. I mean, as you see, Jesus takes the wheel right now. Is behind a huge set of pillars here, so they're not going to be able to easily approach. But generally, not something you want to do very often. They're close enough together where they could probably cover each other. But if suddenly Keiko have spring out behind one of these ships, it could spell disaster for Sacrilege. Now, does is oh my. So Cake is going all the way back.
They're swinging right back to their spawn.
Yeah, it's not the worst of ideas, but it's I'm not sure if that's what they wanted to do. They probably could have just set up over on the side of Red Spawn and had an open field to shoot down these Sacrilege ships as they came out. Um, but instead they're retreating all the way back. I will say the one thing about that is with the new spawn system, where you choose where you spawn and with specific sides being split up for different colors, I can see blue ships not wanting to be in red spawn. Even if they manage to take one of these red ships out, uh, they would have one of them spawn right up on top of them once again, and that can get extremely hairy.
Devil's Food and War Maiden's Rest are bringing themselves back to their original first position where they got that kill right off the bat at the very start of this game. They're
Yeah,
swinging
and
straight around these rock formations, though. We
once
should see them
again,
turn to the right.
yep. But once again, we're having Sacrilege go on the other side, so we're having this ring around the rosy that happens all too often. Ooh, there is a spot going down on Ward Maiden.
Oh, that was good. I believe that was from the Disney films.
Yep.
Great hard spot. That's not easy to do.
Yeah, and I don't think the Cake Team caught a
Oh
glimpse
no,
of
War Maiden
Sacrilege
is
there.
swinging its what is War Maiden doing? No, don't turn that way.
It's kind of backing up at this point. Um, yeah, I would love to tell you what they're doing, but honestly, I'm not exactly sure. I would
Oh,
imagine
they're
that
setting
the
up. They're turning War Maiden so it is far back, allowing it much greater range and maneuverability when it comes to using its long range guns. I see what they're doing now. They got this.
yeah, and it looks like they had a small window there to shoot off the Disney films, but Disney Films is actually going to go get in behind this rock, lose his spot, get into the clouds, and well, we'll see if Cake stays where they are now.
Cake has a really good position where they can see almost anything coming at them. I would be shocked if they moved too far.
Yeah, and I'm not entirely sure. I believe there's a set of clouds that do roll by here, so I do have to be a little bit careful. But oh no, Disney Films. Oh, okay, here we go. Here's actually the dual fire coming in.
War Maiden's Rest is just patrolling back and forth near these rocks, making it very hard to land a lot of those Flak and Hades shots, giving engineers on the War Maiden's Rest plenty of time, but lots of fires just got started on the War Maiden's Rest. 3 guns, the balloon, and the hull is all on fire. Engineers clearly losing a little bit of control on exactly what's going on in that ship right now.
Yep, still pounding that ship, but Devil's Food time is now bringing that watch up, getting that heavy flak if nothing else.
There was a
Nice
gun
watcher shot.
break on the Disney films. The heavy flak is down. The heavy flak on the Disney films is down. They've lost their ship
Oh
kill
no,
power
Devil's
for at
Food
least a
runs
few
into the
moments.
rock.
Oh
Loses
no.
his. Oh, this can be absolutely tragic, but I don't think the Disney Films. Yep, okay, so that heavy flak is not going to follow it up. Disney Films was turned the wrong way.
They just brought it back up. Devil's Food backing up right near those rocks. Gotta be
Oh, more
careful.
rock damage. Yeah, especially with hull that low. Oh, this is absolutely tragic for Devil's Food right now.
Flak shots are coming back in. Devil's Food needs to be careful. They need to dodge some of these Hades and flak shots, or they will go down, and a third point is going to go to Sacrilege. There they go. Perfectly timed flak.
Yeah, and it's just great shooting there by the Jesus Takes the Wheels gunners or gungeoneers, whatever you want to call them. Expertly hitting with that Hades, almost every shot going right where they needed to.
I'm loving how Hades is being brought into the fold right now. War Maiden's Rest taking a lot of damage. Outer hull has gone down. Flak shots were not in time, however. Jesus Take the Wheel needs to crack that hull once again. There goes the hull. We should see flak shots coming in from the Disney films.
Oh, there's a nice connection. A couple of them flew actually between the hull and the balloon, but those last two hit quite nice. And there it goes. That last heavy flak shot taking it down. And the Devil's Food is charging right on fourth.
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure this is what they want to do at all.
Devil's Food does not have the advantage right now. Hwacha shots all completely miss Jesus Take the Wheel.
Yeah, and it looks like once again not using that heavy clip ammo for a little bit more of stability on that Hwacha.
I would honestly be shocked if Morty didn't take heavy clip. He knows what guns he had available to him, unless he went entirely long range.
Well, this is the devil. This is the devil's food. There's no
Oh, right. I'm
Mortys on the other
sorry.
ship.
Yes.
No problem. And heavy. Yeah. There we go. Devil's food getting absolutely peppered by shots. Not even able to take out that front gun
Devil's Food's
of
going to
the
go
Disney
down here.
films.
That's the match in favor of Sacrilege 2-0. They win the game 5-1. The match again goes in favor of Sacrilege. We're going to be moving on to the next competition. The Gents versus the Mad Hatters, I believe. The first map is going to be Duel at Dawn.
Yep, that was very well played there by Sacrilege. Cake started that second game out extremely strong, catching Jesus takes the wheel. Jesus take the wheel, but just not able to finish or continue that momentum. Had a little bit of unfortunate bounces all over the place as well. Navigating around Canyon Ambush in the Galleon is not exactly the easiest thing to do.